Hi, my name is Kate Edwards, the president of Together Hospitality, and today I'm joined by Brett. Thanks for being here.
Hi, I am Brett Garrett, District Director for OpenTable New York City.
You've got an interesting path into your current role with OpenTable, but you came from both really working in tech and then also working in coffee shops and even Chez Panisse.
I started out wanting to be a lawyer, but I worked in restaurants all through high school, and then when I came out to New York and realized the legal world is not for me, I like people too much.
Yeah.
I jumped back into hospitality, which I was passionate about, had a very brief stint at EMP, didn't last very long, and then found my way to Blue Bottle Coffee, where I worked for 6 years opening markets. So I did the New York City market for them, went to Los Angeles. Blue Bottle was amazing because it was a small company trying to scale and use the tools of like a Starbucks. And so we kind of built a lot of the tools that they had using technology, things like automated ordering. That was just really impactful for our business. I got to see firsthand how that was like implemented, use the tools of an enterprise-like company at a small company like Blue Bottle was really impactful. So kind of after Blue Bottle, I went to a small tech startup that did technology and ordering for coffee shops. And then after that, I found myself at OpenTable. Feels like the major leagues, the big leagues.
You say empty restaurants are the worst thing on earth, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, OpenTable, our ultimate goal is to connect diners with restaurants, turn undecided diners into covers. We spent the last 26 years building a diner marketplace where diners come to us because they trust the recommendations we give them and ultimately guide them to the restaurant that fits them. So, our ability to look at a diner's history, match them to a restaurant that we think is going to be a place where they like to dine, and then ultimately they come to use us as a trusted source and continue to come back to us. We have the data that proves that. 20% of diners in New York City that make online reservations through OpenTable are doing it, discovering the restaurant on our platform to discover that it is. And we're really good at turning those undecided diners into covers. Our entire goal is to fill restaurants, and we've gotten pretty good at it in the last 26 years.
Right. So it's a real meshing of tech into people, which is the sweet spot for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a restaurant that joined us a couple months ago, and they switched over to us. They saw 20% more covers. It means that they saw 20% more diners, 20% more checks, and that enabled them to open up a new restaurant. They're opening up in Long Island City next couple of months, and that meant they had to get less investment to support that opening and open up faster, et cetera, et cetera. So we love seeing that kind of like tactile difference that we can make by just helping connect diners to restaurants.
How do you listen to your clients? Because your clients are both the people who operate businesses as well as the clients, the customers who are coming in. So when you're listening to your operators, what is it that they really want to generate? What do they want more of?
Yeah, I mean, I think two things on that. One is we made a big shift in the last couple of years to say that we're restaurants first. Restaurants are our ultimate customer. We believe that if we can serve restaurants, then restaurants can serve the customers. So we made a massive shift into that way. Our new tagline is "We serve restaurants so they can serve the world." As far as listening to restaurant feedback, one of the main things that's come up time and time again is we're really good at holding diners in our four walls, but once they leave, those touch points are really difficult.
That's right.
And tools exist, but they're not really built for restaurants. And restaurateurs are famously short on time. Tools that exist are built for marketers, not for operators. So one of the things that we've done is developed marketing products inside of OpenTable. So we have a whole suite of email products where you can send automated campaigns that will reach out to lapsed customers or customers that came on an anniversary and reminding them to come back again. These kinds of things that we see real ROI from, and more importantly, don't really take much time to actually activate, because we know restaurateurs are not email marketers. They don't have time to build these really complex campaigns. Why don't we just take all the hard work and do it for them?
Yeah, I was a maitre d' for years, and literally you would call your customers, right? So this is an automated way for you to reach out and say, hey, we haven't seen you in a little while. We'd love for you to come back. So the idea is to really build your regular base. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. And we see real ROI from these things where you can connect it to see how many reservations and these things that literally you can do in 2 clicks. You can customize as much as you want, but if you want to do it as minimal as possible, 2 clicks, can send automated emails and you can see what diners made reservations, how much they spent. It's pretty remarkable, and it's all done so that you don't have to have a marketing degree to actually make these things happen.
And then when you think about your customers, you also glean insights from them. What was something you built sort of a product that is helpful for customers seeking a more robust experience at a restaurant?
Yeah, so one of the things, I'm sure everyone's had this experience of you're booking a big birthday party or a corporate event, and actually the discovery process as a diner of figuring out where can I host a 40-person dinner? What are the rules around it? It's a total nightmare. You have to go website by website, fill out a million of those little request things. Half the restaurants get back to you. It's just not a very smooth process. And OpenTable is unique in that we actually have a diner marketplace. We have diners that go to us to discover where to eat. We're leveraging that to build out a private dining part of the product, wherein our diners can go in and say, I need to fit 40 people. This is the price range I want to go to, and actually see what restaurants offer those. And then in the future, hopefully soon, actually allow them to book in one click right there. So it's not all this back and forth. They're actually able to book from that place and secure their private dining.
So you can do it all online now.
Do it all online. Yeah, I mean, of course, you can have that like back and forth if you need it, and a lot of restaurants need that customization, but a lot of times you don't. Like, it's a prefix, and this is what you're going to get.
Yeah, and that's another really nice revenue stream for restaurants as well, to open up this world of private dining and really make it something that is easy for guests to think of them for.
Yeah, and that's what we're hearing more and more from restaurants, that private dining is increasingly becoming an important part of the business because it's so predictable. You know the staffing you're going to need. You know exactly what you're going to make in revenue per diner. So we're responding to diners in terms of make this easier, and also in restaurants in terms of we want private dining to be a bigger component of our business.
What's the thing that motivates you to do your job when you're connecting restaurants to customers and customers to restaurants? What's the thing that keeps you going?
I've just been in love with this industry from day one. I think, like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer, and I hated the fact that I didn't get to talk to people as much as I do. And hospitality is such a people-driven, tactile business that I just love. And obviously, I work for a tech company. It's a little bit, you might think that you get lost in the technology of it all. But OpenTable is such a people-driven, boots on the ground, tactile business, and I really love that part.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and everybody I've met from your team has been people who support that theory.
Where a lot of us come from the hospitality industry. Like, I think you only choose to be here if you're really passionate about it from the beginning.
That's right, and we sure are.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Of course.